I need you to hate so I can use you for your energy.
This is Real Sales Talk. Real sales advice from real sales practitioners. Giving you tips on how to dominate your sales quota are your co-hosts, Sean Mitchell and Phill Keen.
What is going on? Real Sales Talk podcast. Sean and I are back, and we're probably going to give you a back-to-back. So we're going to hit you guys quick with 2 tech talks this week at least. It's been a little bit of a hiatus, but Sean, what is going on in your world, man? You've been selling houses like crazy. Hopefully,
I've been everywhere and doing everything. Yesterday was actually quite busy. I was in 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess technically 5 different cities yesterday, all doing real estate stuff. So it was a full day yesterday. Did some work today as well, but took it a little bit easier today since it is Father's Day. By the way, happy Father's Day, Phill. Was it a good day?
It was a wonderful day. Always a great day. What about you?
It was. Little bit quieter, I suppose. Ordered some Thai food for my wife and I, and kids had a little bit of it, but yeah, kind of low key, but nice to kind of think about the day as a whole as something that people celebrate and appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
So we've had some really great guests on. We guys talked about it last week a little bit when it was just Sean and I. We had Gary Gold on, who sold the Playboy Mansion. So if you had not had a chance to listen to that episode, go back and listen to it. And I think that's the first time really in my sales career where I actually saw a lot of the similarities, the fundamental things from a sales professional that in a B2B world can actually overlap a lot in real estate, which is a lot more B2C, but it really sits in the middle between kind of a B2C, B2B. It's a weird sales type of role, but there's a lot of foundational elements of sales that are strong for real estate as well as B2B people that you guys can go into. I thought it was a great episode. I only caught halfway and I was in the middle of the sales call, jumped in late, but maybe give me a quick recap and then we'll jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, a few of the takeaways, like the themes were how he kind of approaches prospecting. And you think, and this is one of the questions that I asked him, which is, Gary, you've been doing this for 30 years. You've been in real estate for 30 years. Are you at the point now where you don't have to prospect? Where business is just coming your way? And it's like, no, I'm never done doing that. And so he talked about these 2 different strategies, and see if I can remember them. The phrases slipped my mind actually at the moment, and I wish I could remember them. But he talks about ways that he keeps in touch with people, and that's kind of his thing. Like he's really good at nurturing those relationships over a period of time. And I think he said this when both you and I were on. But one person he reached out to over 200 times. And he didn't say how long that course was, I don't think, between the first touch and the 200th. But he said it was worth it because it actually turned into 8 deals with this guy. So the persistence definitely paid off in that case for him. So I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah, and the point that I think he brought home the entire time was there's value to be added every single time you touch anybody, and you have to change language and you have to keep it fresh, but you have to bring value every single time, and it's massively critical. And that's how he ended up selling 8 houses off a guy he called 200 and some odd times. So it was a great episode. Definitely go back and listen to Gary Gold if you have not yet. But it was definitely an instant classic that we'll put up into the archive for you guys.
Awesome.
So Sean, what do you have today? Let's talk tech.
Yeah, let's definitely talk tech here. So I'm going to talk about an audiobook I've been listening to. In fact, we'll talk just kind of generally speaking, but I want to talk about a specific one by Jeb Blount. Now you should be able to see my screen. So I use iBooks to listen to my audiobooks in the car. And I do quite a bit of driving, as I mentioned in earlier in this episode. But this is a really great way for me to kind of get information. In fact, I'm pretty heavy into audiobooks and podcasts. So I do those things quite a bit. And sometimes when I need a break, I'll just, turn on some music. But right now I'm going through Jeb Blount's Fanatical Prospecting. I've read his book before, but I wanted to get just kind of a refresh my memory, but also get kind of a different perspective. Anytime you hear someone talk about their own book or read their own book, I think there's always new things that kind of come. And sometimes they add new things into the audio version that they don't in the actual physical book. So I've been going through this one, and I guess I'm probably halfway through. It's just good. It's good to have a refresher. But in general, iBooks has actually been the route that I've kind of gravitated towards. With an app like Audible, you're basically renting your books, and you get a certain number of books each month that you can do. And I actually like iBooks better because I can actually keep the book. Sometimes I'll do Kindle audio, but since I've got an iPhone, I kind of gravitate more towards iBooks, and I get to keep them and then reread them or refresh my memory on them if I want to. So Audible's nice because it does give you a massive library, but I think iBooks is probably equally compelling as well. So great way to get some knowledge, grow yourself.
So let's talk about, we're going Fanatical Prospecting. So the first time you read it, you obviously took a few things out of it. What are things maybe you learned this time or you caught this time by listening to the audio version?
I don't know if I've actually caught any new things. A lot of it is pretty standard. You just have to get out and do it, right? I mean, that's kind of the theme of the book. Prospecting is not fun, but it's a fundamental part of generating new business, especially if you want to accelerate growth and you want to do it fast. Being proactively reaching out to people is a fundamental part of that. So, I think it's just helpful to be able to just refresh the memory again. And he breaks things down just so simply. I mean, he really makes it easy to understand, and that's what I like about this book. And I think it's a classic for this topic.
Yeah, I mean, anything by Jeb Blount, I think there's going to be massive value. So it's definitely worth your time investment. And if you've already read it, to go back and listen to the audio version. Mm-hmm. I think hearing Jeb actually talk through it, I think you might pick it up differently, you might hear it differently, and maybe not. Maybe you're just going to hear it for a second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th time. But like you said, it's fundamentals. There's basics to sales. I was having a great conversation with Kevin Vanes, the VP of sales at Sixter, and his favorite book is some old, dusty, 85-year-old sales book. And he's like, that's the first book. I cannot think of the name of it. He's like, that's the first book I give every young sales professional. And the basic fundamentals of sales have not changed in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years even. And I think it's something where you see somebody like Jeb Blount where it is very fundamental and it's very, very good. And that's why he's good at what he does. It's because he's good at the basics. He's good at fundamentals, and he can tell you in a way that makes sense. So big fan of Jeb Blount. So I'm excited potentially even get back into the audio version of Fanatical Prospecting.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a good one. And if any of you listening have got some recommendations for good audiobooks that you've listened to recently, send them our way. We'd love to hear your recommendations. So let's go ahead and transition over to you, Phill. What are you going to be talking about?
Yeah, so I am going to talk a new startup out of Atlanta called LeadTime. It is a pretty awesome AI web prospecting tool. Let me jump over to Google Hangouts. There we go. All right. So LeadTime is how LeadTime's prospecting tool works. I'll give you guys a quick overview. You connect your data points, so all the things that you have information on, So this one here put Salesforce together or import a list, whatever you're doing. Click that button, and then what it does, it will add millions of external data points. Not sure what that is or how it works, but I'm sure it's some voodoo magic that crawls the entire internet. And then it scans the internet, different websites, looks for different sizes of companies, industries, etc. And then it looks really just in-depth customer analysis. And then what it does, it starts to engage prospect intelligence. Let's see what this means. Let's see, we apply machine learning algorithms to continuously score and rate your best fit accounts for internal and external data points. So it looks like they actually take the data that you have for customers you've won that are happy and love your company, and then they look for other companies like them. And then they look for ways to, or other companies that are most likely to convert, which is awesome. And then they target, segment, and build list. So it builds your list for you off of what they have in your database, which is great. And then you sync back to the source. So they use a powerful software to seamlessly sync your list into Pardot, Salesforce, or SalesLoft. So all you SalesLoft customers out there, surprise, surprise, they have an integration. It's wonderful, I'm sure. And then it is no longer tedious transition from prospector to customer. So what it looks like is it analyzes your data that you have inside of your system, and it looks for highest propensity to work with you or highest likelihood to work with you. And then it tries to build out lists for you to go target and prospect. This is a massive time suck. So the fact that they have AI out there is absolutely phenomenal. Let's go ahead and check out pricing real quick. So there's a try it for free button. So I'm sure there's a free option, but let's see how much it costs. So 7-day trial for free. So you have that. No credit card down. That is awesome. You build up to 5 lists that way. There's an individual plan, which is $100 a month. And it lets you follow up to 2,000 companies. And there's a team plan that includes 5 users for $500 a month. And it's $100 for each additional user after that. And that trucks up to 10,000 companies. I'm sure they have some custom plans as well. Yep, down here, need a custom plan, contact us. So not a bad way to start free. It's just a great way to do this. I've had the pleasure of having to do this before and build lists for teams. And can I tell you how bad it sucks, right? So building a list for a team takes a lot of time, and it's very tedious. And no one's actually really ever happy. I think this actually gets you to probably a better starting place. And I like a lot of what's going out there. There's a lot of companies out there that are trying to figure this part of the funnel out, which is how do we build a list and do it efficiently to where, Sean, when you prospect somebody, there's a high relevance to it. It's the whole account-based world being sucked into software. And if you can't get this part of it right, account-based will never work. So if anybody's investing in account-based, go look at LeadTime, take their 7-day free trial. Full disclosure, I'm not a customer. I don't know anything really about this company. I've heard about them. I think they're really cool. I don't know if it's great tech or not. I've just heard good things. I really think you should check out LeadTime. It's a pretty cool piece of technology from what I see on the website. So it's worth a 7-day free trial, right?
Totally. Can't hurt. What do you have to lose?
Nothing. You don't need to put your credit card down. So awesome technology. I definitely want to check that out. And other thing, one more piece of technology. I'm going to throw a bonus out there for you guys. So anybody that uses Slack. So we recently at Octave started using a technology called Hey Taco. And you can gift each other tacos. So Sean does something good, or he does something really well, or he helps me out, or just, I don't know, whatever I feel like he deserves a pat on the back for. I can gift him a taco emoji, and then it actually keeps score on a leaderboard. It's awesome. You have to check it out. So it's Hey Taco. I believe it's heytaco.chat. I didn't set it up. I'm not sure, but it is fun. And it is really, really fun to recognize people for everything that they're doing well. And you're doing it with a taco. What we decided to do is, of course, you get a taco dinner at the end of the month if you had the most tacos. So whoever's top 5 in the leaderboard gets a taco dinner together.
Think about how much happier the world would be, Phill, if you could just give everyone a free taco.
You know, there's not many people that hate tacos. Like, if you hate tacos, we're not friends. You should actually, if you're listening to Real Sales Talk and you don't like tacos, you should stop listening right now.
I was going to say maybe if you're a vegetarian, but I think they even have vegetarian tacos too.
There's always a way. Tacos there's an abundance of variety when it comes to tacos. There's got to be something you like. Give it a shot. If you don't like tacos,
what do you like in your taco? Like, are you a beef taco guy? Are you a flour, corn? What's your mixture?
It depends on the location. It depends on where I'm at. So if I'm at, there's a local joint around the corner for me where I get Cardenas tacos, which is pork for you guys that don't know that. So it's like a pulled pork, but really more of a spicy pulled pork. If I go to Taco Bell, which is my favorite kind of tacos of all, I like gorditas. So I get the gorditas with the soft shell on it. If I'm at like other place, there's other like pork bellies are great. There's so many. I just love tacos. All tacos are. I'm a fan of all tacos. I will eat all of you. If you're a taco, I will eat you. I hold no grudges against any tacos.
Nothing but love for you.
Nothing but love. What about you, Sean? What's your taco of choice?
I think I grew up eating or using flour tortillas. I do enjoy beef. I'm a big guac fan. I love guacamole and sour cream and cheese. You have to have those. I'm very particular about the type of lettuce that I have on the taco. So it's like iceberg lettuce. If it's not iceberg, then I'm like, forget about it. I don't want any lettuce. I do like some salsas on there, but sometimes I just like it like pure, sour cream, cheese, guac, and then whatever.
Do you ever put potatoes in your tacos?
Not that I can think of. I don't know if I've ever done that.
My mom,
breakfast tacos, absolutely.
See, my mom when I was a kid used to put potatoes in my tacos. Like she would do like the canned whole potatoes, and she'd cut them up and make it like so they were just diced up, and she'd put those in the tacos. And I still do it occasionally. So like it'll be beans and like it fills you up. It's really more of a burrito than anything. So it's beans and potatoes and meat and cheese and all the other fixings. So I'm a fan of that.
Nice. Well, after we've subjected our listeners to our taco preferences, we should probably wrap up this one.
All right. Sounds great. Sean, it is wonderful to talk tacos with you and Real Sales Talk family. Leave a review if you love the show. Let us know. Give us 5 stars or 4. 4 is fine. If you're going to leave less than that, maybe don't leave 1. We love you anyways, though. Real Sales Talk family. Catch you in the next one.